Somewhere in this investigation, there is a Bitcoin wallet. A ransom note is demanding $34,000 to unlock it. And
the Bitcoin dead end. The FBI tracked the Bitcoin wallet. It led to a dead end. That sentence should be impossible in 2025. Bitcoin runs on blockchain. Every transaction is public. Every wallet address is traceable. The FBI has an entire unit dedicated to cryptocurrency forensics, and yet they came up empty. February 2025, Nancy Guthrie disappears from her Tucson home. She's in her 70s. A masked suspect appears on her doorbell camera, armed, confident. Then she's gone. Within days, a ransom note lands at TMZ. The demand, $34,000 in Bitcoin. Half paid up front for the location of her body. Half paid after an arrest is made. Her daughter is Savannah Guthrie. You know her. NBC Today Show anchor, public figure, high-profile victim family. This case has every resource the Bureau can throw at it, so they traced the wallet. Win pause and found nothing. Harvey Levin, the founder of TMZ, said it on camera. They spent a heck of a lot of time trying to track this down. They came up dry. He called it the perfect crime I didn't think existed anymore. But here's what you need to understand. Bitcoin isn't supposed to work that way. The blockchain is permanent, public, transparent. When someone sends Bitcoin, you can follow it. The FBI has done it before. They've seized billions. So what went wrong here? If you want to understand how a Bitcoin trace can fail in 2025 and what that tells us about who took Nancy Guthrie, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe. This gets deep. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how blockchain tracing works, and you'll know the 3 ways it can be beaten. But first, we need to talk about what the FBI was actually looking at. How Bitcoin tracing actually works. You've been promised an explanation. Here it is. Bitcoin is not anonymous. It's pseudonymous. Those words mean different things. Anonymous means untraceable. Pseudonymous means you're operating under a fake name, but that name is consistent. In this case, the fake name is a wallet address. Every Bitcoin wallet has an address. It's a long string of letters and numbers. That address is visible on a public ledger every time it sends or receives funds. Anyone with an internet connection can look it up. The FBI doesn't just look, they analyze. In 2022, the Bureau created the Virtual Assets Unit. It sits inside the Criminal Investigative Division in Washington. This unit partners with private blockchain analytics firms, Chainalysis, Elliptic, TRM Labs. These companies build software that tracks cryptocurrency movement across the entire blockchain. Here's how it works. You identify the wallet address from the ransom note. You watch it. If the wallet moves funds, you follow the trail. Every transaction creates a new line on the ledger. Every destination wallet gets logged. Eventually, the money has to leave the blockchain. It has to convert into something usable. Dollars, euros, pesos. That conversion happens at a cryptocurrency exchange, and that's where the trap closes. Exchanges operating in the U.S. or cooperating jurisdictions are required by law to collect identity documents. Know your customer rules. KYC. When you create an account, you upload your driver's license, proof of address, a selfie. The exchange holds that data. And when Bitcoin from a criminal wallet lands in an exchange account, investigators serve a subpoena. The exchange hands over the identity documents. Suddenly, the pseudonym has a face. This is how the FBI recovered 63.7 Bitcoin in the Colonial Pipeline ransomware case. It's how they seized $3.6 billion in the Bitfinex hack. Blockchain analysis led them to an exchange. The exchange led them to a name. The system works. It has worked. So why didn't it work here? The 3 failure scenarios. When a Bitcoin trace fails, it's not random. It's tactical. Someone on the other end made a choice. That choice tells you how sophisticated they are. Here are the 3 ways the trace dies. Scenario 1. The sender used a mixer service. A mixer takes your Bitcoin and scrambles it with hundreds of other transactions. Your 1 Bitcoin goes into the pool. But the mixer splits it into tiny fragments. Those fragments get sent through dozens of wallets. Eventually, you get your Bitcoin back, but from a completely different address. The trail is broken. Services like Tornado Cash specialize in this. They're not illegal to use, but they're a red flag. If the FBI traced the Guthrie ransom wallet into a mixer, the trail would fracture into thousands of microtransactions. Expensive to follow, sometimes impossible. Scenario 2. The wallet never moved. This one's simple. If the sender never deposits, never withdraws, never touches the Bitcoin, there's nothing to trace. The wallet just sits there, dormant. That suggests fear or patience. Or the sender knows the moment they move it, the clock starts. Harvey Levin's statement suggests this might be what happened. He said the FBI traced it and got nothing. A wallet with zero activity is nothing. Scenario 3. The funds went to a non-KYC exchange. Not every exchange follows U.S. regulations. Some operate in jurisdictions that don't cooperate with American subpoenas. Russia, certain parts of Asia, darknet exchanges that don't require identity verification at all. If the Bitcoin landed in one of those, the FBI hits a wall. No documents, no cooperation, no name. So which scenario fits here? We don't know. The FBI hasn't said, but someone does have an opinion. Her name is Jennifer Coffindaffer. She spent 30 years inside the FBI. Title III Electronic Surveillance, Gang Investigations, Organized Crime. She's now a public commentator, and she has a proposal: pay the second ransom, force the wallet to move, create a new trace opportunity. She calls it tickling the wire. Would you pay $34,000 to a scammer just to catch them? Drop your answer below. Explain why. But there's a problem with her plan. She doesn't think the person sending the notes is the kidnapper at all. The scammer theory. Jennifer Coffindaffer doesn't believe the ransom notes came from Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper. She believes they came from a scammer exploiting the case. Here's her logic. The Guthrie family has publicly offered a $1 million reward for information leading to Nancy's return. The FBI posted another $100,000. That's $1.2 million. Available to anyone. Processed through official law enforcement channels. Protected by federal reward protocols. The person sending the notes isn't asking for any of that. They're asking for $34,000 in Bitcoin. Paid to an anonymous wallet. No verification. No proof of life. No accountability. Coffindaffer's assessment: a person with real information would pursue the larger reward. She's called the sender a scammer, an extortionist, someone torturing Savannah Guthrie after her mother's disappearance for a quick payday. The notes support her theory. They contradict themselves. One note claims Nancy is alive in Sonora, Mexico. Another claims she's dead and offers to reveal where the body is buried. A third insists the sender had nothing to do with the crime and has been outside the U.S. for 5 years. No proof of life has ever been provided. No insider knowledge. No detail that only the kidnapper would know. So why does Coffindaffer want the family to pay? Because catching a scammer is still a win. Sending a ransom note for a crime you didn't commit is a federal offense. Title 18. United States Code, Section 875. Extortion through interstate communication. Up to 20 years in federal prison. If the trace works, the sender gets arrested. Once in custody, they can be questioned. They might know something. They might have seen something. They might lead to the actual kidnapper. Or they might just stop sending notes for a family being tortured by anonymous messages. That alone might be worth $34,000. This case is built on verified public reporting. If this kind of deep analysis is what you're here for, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments what case I should cover next. Do you think Coffindaffer's proposal is smart or reckless? And if you know how mixers actually work, tell me in the comments if there's a way the FBI could have beaten this. 75 days into the investigation, the family hasn't made the payment. But the wallet is still out there. The unresolved present. Here's where the case stands right now. DNA recovered from a black glove found 2 miles from Nancy's home is being run through the CODIS database. No public match yet. Investigators are tracing purchase records for gear visible in the doorbell camera footage. Backpack. Tactical clothing. The trail leads to Walmart stores in the Tucson area. No arrest has been made. The second Bitcoin wallet, the one tied to the April 2025 ransom notes, remains untested. No deposit has been made. Coffindaffer's proposal has not been acted on publicly. Harvey Levin's phrase still hangs in the air. The perfect crime I didn't think existed anymore. So here's the question we're left with. Is the sender more sophisticated than a typical scammer? Or did the FBI just hit the one gap in an otherwise airtight system? We don't know. And that uncertainty is the most disturbing part. Because if Bitcoin tracing can fail this completely, what does that say about every other case relying on it? Nancy Guthrie remains missing. The blockchain holds answers, but only if someone forces it to speak. Is the sender a scammer or someone more dangerous? Drop your theory below. Nancy's case is still active. If there's a break, I'll cover it here. Subscribe, turn on notifications, share this with anyone following the investigation. Thank you for watching.